All right, guys, here to talk about the movie Man-Thing. 2005's Man-Thing, Lee. Had you seen it before?
I had not.
I thought there was a possibility, being that this is one of those OG Marvels.
That's insane to me when I saw the Marvel logo.
This was back in those licensing days, before they were doing their own stuff.
I'm still so confused by the whole thing. No, it's kind of like 2005, like In the Pocket, where it would have, I've never even heard of it. No one's ever mentioned it in any context, and I feel like I will now become one of those people who will, after today, I will never mention it again.
It's overshadowed by Swamp Thing, which is the same character, only given more money and time and effort and quality.
Every advantage possible. Yes, of course.
Yeah, but it's got its charm.
Yeah.
It's another Marvel mainstay. We have Jessica Jones' sister as the main character here.
Trish talk in the house, exactly. Which I was very excited for, and then became disappointed by. But we'll get into that detail. No, I think it's fine. I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of fake looking.
Yeah, honestly, only having it be a Marvel movie hurts it. Like, had you just thought it was a movie, I think you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a sci-fi original movie, we're fine. Yeah. I think that gives you a certain, like, you see that card in the beginning and you're like, oh, what am I, okay.
I know.
This is early days.
It's very strange, yes.
Yeah. But it's fun. There's things that are worth talking about, so if you've seen it or don't care, falls over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Man-Thing. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
I don't know where to start. I didn't really engage with this too much. I was just kind of like, yep.
It has a real vibe of a TV show pilot movie.
Yes!
Which I don't think it was, to the best of my knowledge. It was just always going to be a movie.
I'm the big fish in the small pond. Bottom line is, I'm not breaking any laws.
Like, it's not that I think it like looks bad or seems bad, and I'm actually nostalgic for like soundstage type movies or whatever this was. But it had a vibe where I was like, this takes place in the Fakeville swamps in Fake Town. This is like not a real place. Everyone's always in these like fake places, it feels like. And yeah, TV is a good way. It has like a TV vibe to it.
Yeah, but not especially the transitions. There's like they're like ta 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 ta, and you're like oh yeah, that's what early 2000s thing was. Like, are we watching Power Rangers? Like, what is this?
Those like quick cuts where they're like, I'm so hip, look at me, I can edit, oh my god. Yes.
And like, it's filmed in Australia, and occasionally you're like, oh yes, you're Australian. Like, sorry, your Australian is showing.
You think getting arrested is setting a good example for your students?
Well, I think standing up for your principles sets a good example. So yes, I do.
Does Trish have an accent in real life?
Trish does, I believe, but the one that has the accent for me the most is our sheriff boy.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, I can't leave here. Yeah, you pack up your photos, all your crap, pack it up now, you come with me, I'm gonna cuff you and drag you out of here on your ass.
Well, like Trish too, it was kind of breaking, because like, I was so excited. I was like, oh, my wife, Trish is in a movie. Like the second I like saw her, I'm like, wait, who is that? I know that. This is someone that I've like
She looks exactly the same, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of crazy, because it's like 20 years apart,
You had better be arresting me. I'm gonna kick your city, boy.
Well, because I had forgotten, Jessica Jones been so long ago. But I was a big fan of both her performance and also just like her and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I'm such a creep. This is great, whatever. And she starts talking, and her part is so underwritten, and she's, that's what I mean is like she has a like other accent, and she's trying to swing all the way through to this fake accent. And I'm like, oh, it's a mess and stuff. And I'm not nitpicking her like pronunciation.
I think everyone in the movie is Australian.
Right?
I don't think there are. Like sometimes you're like, oh, we imported our main cast, but I think everyone's Australian.
Sam Worthington is here. Wait, is he Australian? Fuck.
Sam, as an Australian, how hard was it to work with both the American accent and the Na'vi language elements?
But the main guy looks like he's in like an emo band or something.
Yeah.
But that's great, because they're all like, get your Yankee ass out of here.
It does work.
You'll understand what it's like out there in the bayou and all that shit. And he looks like he's wearing like eyeshadow.
And he doesn't understand it.
Exactly.
I love that. Good. Like, why do they call it by water? It's by water.
It's by the water. He's like, you fucking prick. Yeah, exactly.
Why do they call it Bywater?
Because it's by the water.
Coming in
Yankee overthinking.
Coming in from out of town, trying to impose your woke values on us.
Yeah.
We eat gators. I don't know what it is. Yes, but I actually thought that he looked the part and fit the part, and he had his little badass moments and his conversation moments. But I was like, oh, this is working for me. This little bit here.
I didn't look him up. The sheriff's deputy is someone I'm like, I have seen you many a time. I think you are a main character later on in life in other things.
Man, you scared the shit out of me.
Sorry about that. I'm Kyle Williams, the new sheriff.
Some other TV
like,
show.
What is he on? Oz? Like, something about him. I'm like, you look familiar. Or Fringe, maybe? Or maybe he looks like a guy that was on Oz and Fringe. Look that up, would you?
He's some fringy prisoner somewhere or something.
Something.
Sure.
But I liked... So, while I've got him on my topic, so, like, the movie is essentially Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Like, and this, it's not a ripoff. This is a character that actually, I think, predates Swamp
Is it
Thing.
called Man Thing?
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is back when like Blade was out, right? And like a few other, was
2005, I
was
think.
X-Men out even? But they must have been like,
X-Men
okay,
was already out.
Right? And they were like, what do we
have?
have?
No, Blade's 99.
Yeah.
X-Men was what, 2000, 2001, I think?
1 or 2 or something, yeah. And then like, because I know Phantom Menace is right around 2000, I think, or right before or after. It's right in this pocket. So like, I mean, it's like, it says Marvel on it, but it also has like the flip. It has like the page. It has the actual animation, and I'm like, literally, who the fuck is Man Thing? What are you doing? I've never heard of this character.
Well, I think it was probably a very cheaply licensable character.
They were like, what do we have? What do we own that we can do that's like zero risk? I'm not letting you fuck up Thor. No, you can't have Thor. Anybody, go. Sort the list in like the opposite way. Okay, Man Thing. Do you mean Swamp Thing? No,
but I think that's probably
thing.
A big thing here. So
exactly.
like while this wasn't that like a crazy popular comic, like Swamp Thing had 2 movies. You're like, okay, it has name recognition.
People know
it.
Yeah.
Thing in general. I'm surprised they didn't license like the song like Wild Thing to just like try to steal it a little, ape it a little more.
Yeah. But it's called Man Thing, and it's a thing in a swamp.
Yeah.
So it's basically a man swamp thing. Pretty much. Or a thing swamp, man swamp.
From the dark water.
Shiz stuck a rig in the center of our most sacred place, the dark water. The Guardian here won't stop until the flow of oil is stopped.
What I was going to say, though, is that he's not a person, like he is like a spirit of the swamp that the natives believed in.
The Guardian,
but
they call him.
He indiscriminately kills anyone in the swamp. Like, it's very weird.
It is chosen who will die.
Who will die, Pete?
Everyone.
You see him kill a sheriff or a sheriff deputy who is good intentioned.
When I'm so scared I want to handcuff myself to my bed to keep from coming to work, I believe I don't want to die, Sheriff.
He kills so many missing posters where you're like, okay, he's killing lots of just teens having sex in the water, which is our first death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that death, honestly, pretty great for what it was. There's some great wire rigging stuff in this movie that I'm like, okay, you wouldn't expect.
Come on, Billy.
I don't want to.
This is awkward to show, but she takes off her top, and they dub in the guy going, holy shit!
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was very funny to me.
But he gets like ripped out of the scene.
Yeah.
You don't see anything then because it's too early in the movie to really reveal something.
Exactly.
But by her reaction, she sees something. Which I'm like, what are you seeing?
And it's unusually good. Like they're like mid coitus, and she gets this look on her face like, whoa, wait, what's that? Like she's not quite sure what she's seeing at first, and then it's, oh no, it's a bad thing.
Oh my God.
You like that, huh, baby? It's good.
Right, it's that deal.
The way that traumatizes her and ends her in like a schizo unit, and like she's got like the fucking like attacks her. I'm like, is that an overreaction?
No, that's a part of the whole thing kind of being fake and like not. Things happen where I'm like, oh, I guess we're done with that now. I guess that guy's okay, whatever.
You know, it's like something
real,
that's a tip for fake to me is like people constantly walking in like shin deep water like it's nothing, and I'm like. Why would that be your go-to is just jump right in the water? And like she has big boots in the beginning, but he's just wearing jeans. Like it's just always weird. Like every movie is like, oh, you gotta trench through that puddle. Who's doing that?
No, and like the fakeness is like you feel like the second they cut away from various characters that they cease to exist.
Yeah.
They go into standby mode until you see them again. They're not like real. You're not getting, not that I want like boring character development, but you're not getting anything. You're just like, these are the events that are happening. It's all plot. It's all sizzle. There's no stake.
Yeah.
It's all whatever. It's just like, but it's a movie. It's like a real movie.
Yeah, no, it's real.
Like
it's longer than you expect, honestly.
It is, but
and
it
the
doesn't feel that
CG is
long.
actually surprisingly good, especially for 2005. I'd say that like it almost holds up.
Oh shit! There's a dip in like the middle. But then by the end, which is what's important, because you're going to leave the theater being like, that creature was actually cool.
The first
right?
full reveal shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks good.
That's fine.
I have no problem with that.
There are some dodgy tentacles and some things here and there that I kind of rolled my eyes at.
They're all doing the faculty wiggle, like, it's like, water.
The, like Game of Thrones throne rattling thing. But like, you know, at the end you can tell that they've put in like, okay, he's gonna be on screen for a while here. We need to like, and then there's an explosion where he turns into a PS2 game for a little bit. That's fine. But you know, there are moments where I think he like knocks a guy over and like the guardian spirit is in there. And he looks like he's really there. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is fine. This is acceptable.
When he's carrying that, like the medicine man guy, you're like, oh yeah, like he does look incredibly strong. There's no like, and that's just by nature of what it is. And that guy just being like towed across the screen. But it sells as this imposing character.
It lifts up the other guy and like pumps him full of oil and stuff.
That was kind of cool
and
too.
That was a
like
little ridiculous.
Tentacles
But it was
but
like
it's
whatever.
It's a fun kill that like
it's
like okay.
It's like a unique idea.
Yeah.
And it has the BS of like, I'm going to punish you with the poison that you're trying to.
The only thing that was weird is like,
okay,
that's an oil like derrick pumping thing, and there's like two things of oil.
Right there.
I'm like, where's the oil supposedly going?
Just into
nowhere. You've pumped two 55-gallon drums. That justifies this being here.
Every now and then someone goes and like changes the the drum and it fills.
It is
slowly.
also impossible to get to.
Oh, what's that? I can't see anything.
Like, we've got to go through the dark mangrove where the no sun shines, and now it's like this opening bit in the center. Like, why would that be where you go?
I don't know. There's like more going on. Like there's a point in the movie where like the coroner is explaining the backstory of like it's growing from the inside out and this is crazy and I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Sheriff, this branch wasn't shoved in. It's coming from the inside out.
But then it kind of goes back to being light and fake and like not a thing. So yeah, all those details where I'm like, I guess they set up the oil drilling facility and then they got chased away and now they're like, oh no, and the dark water and I don't believe in that and all this stuff and you're just meant to be like, you're meant to be like, I don't know, the spirit of the
like where
forest,
did the sheriff's body come from? It's just like thrown onto his hood.
Oh fuck! Yeah, man thing chucked it at his car.
Is that what?
I have no idea.
So, there's a lot of things, questions there, and I'm like, okay, our sheriff is driving, and like a dude just runs past the car. And he immediately pulls the gun out, and he's like, okay, where's this guy? And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what cops do, honestly. But it's very strange. Man running at night, must shoot, must shoot.
I mean, the one shot of like the dude running behind him and then he turns around, I was like, oh, that was actually like well done or whatever.
Competent stuff here.
But then like the scene ends. I remember in this part of the movie being like, is he with them? Is he going towards them or away from them? It keeps cutting to someone else and I'm like, what are you doing? And the phone call and what do you have? I remember being like, I don't know, I don't care what's going on in the movie. Just get to the end. Let's fight the man thing and end this thing. And I'm like, what are we doing?
You could watch a lot of this movie like on your phone and not
big,
lose anything.
Yeah.
They said that it was not well received, obviously.
Yeah.
It
was difficult to engage with not being on my phone and doing other things.
They said the test audience like walked out.
Oh.
It made back like $1 million of its $5 million budget, which I'm like, I'm surprised it had a $5 million budget.
But it began a very important relationship with Rachel Taylor and Marvel.
Yeah.
That alone is worth it.
It's surprising.
It's such a weird tidbit where it's like, it's not her first Marvel thing. Like,
I think it was her first thing though.
Yeah.
This was her first
interesting.
movie.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think so.
I had to find you. Corley was murdered. Val found a slug from a .45 in his spine.
From the moment she kicks the sheriff into a puddle, you're like, hello, love interest.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was just such a on the nose, like,
Feisty.
yep, that's what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Like, let me carry you into the my 2-seater car, because that's like the worst thing a sheriff could have.
Yeah, no, that's very indicative, right?
Yeah.
It reminded me of like X-Men Origins Wolverine or something, where it's like each scene was just placed in the script specifically to do this thing, and everyone knows it. So like as they're talking, it's just like, and I'm like, I don't care about anything you're saying. None of this matters, because I know it doesn't matter, because we're not in the exposition point. We're gonna get there later. We're gonna go meet the medicine man. We're gonna go meet the coroner, and then we're gonna do that there. And we're gonna do nothing else. And then we're gonna go meet the Greasy Brother boys, and we're gonna do that for a little while, and we're gonna do nothing else. And we're gonna go somewhere else, right? Just thing after thing just happens.
Greasy Brother boys, pretty good as characters. I'm like, oh, you're pretty nice.
Why don't you take your friend, Mr.
Rodney Thibodeau, we're brothers.
Well, your mother must be proud.
The one guy looks like Frankenstein. He looks like he's like a reanimated.
They
dude or
both
whatever.
are what you need. Like they could have been in that Boar movie. Like you're like, yep, you are Australian backwoods men that just hunt and work at a dog food factory or whatever. Like that's you.
What the hell you doing, you freaky piece of shit?
Oddest thing by far that no one questioned was Medicine Man taking the sugar and just dumping it on the counter.
To draw with it.
And I was like, is the waitress not like, the fuck are you doing?
I think he does that all the time.
I assume he does, and that would be a problem.
They make a comment like, "You're not the only one. You're not the only one with a sweet tooth," and he's like, "Ha ha!" and just starts pouring it on the counter.
I love because from the first angle of the pour, you're like, "Oh, he really likes sugar."
Do you mind?
Here.
And then you're like, "Oh, he's a crazy person."
No, it's amazing. I'm like, "Oh, it's good." Minute to minute, like within a scene, stuff's pretty good usually.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Often
like
it could be
incidental
sweetened,
stuff. It's not great, but it's like fine. It's like competent minute to minute within a scene, but it's the whole thing.
There's a part where he gets rope
down.
snared. And you're like, oh, you should have cut this differently. Like that should have been a lead up where you think Swamp Thing got him, and then it comes back. Like it would come back from the commercial, and you'd be like, like it should have cut away there.
Something, right? So to build some tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like there's a complete lack. Like when characters say stuff like, well, I know where that is. I can come with you. I'm like, wait, aren't we going there already? Like, what do you mean? Like, there's nothing else going on. Why are you here?
Listen to me. I've been running around in that swamp since I was a kid. I can help you.
What are you talking about? It has a weird vibe where like they're like, I guess we should say something now or something.
Yeah.
They dub in her, Trish saying like, what's that? Because I think they realize like, wait, she hasn't seen Man-Thing yet. Shouldn't she be like, what's that?
God, what is that?
There we go. But she just goes along with everything and is like, I understand what's happening now. There's a bunch of little like, it's a little,
Like Man-Thing is also kind of weird because like again, like you have a thought, and the first time he kills the deputy, he like rips him to pieces. And our sheriff is only a few feet away, and then we find out the photographer guy is also only a few feet away with his dogs, and I'm
What the fuck are you doing, you sick bastard?
what is his range of killing? What is his motivation? Because even toward the end, I'm like, okay, if he only wanted that thing gone, couldn't he have destroyed that pretty easily? Because I believe he is what destroyed the thing that's very far from there. So I don't see
don't
why.
they show him going at the thing a little or something? It's weird,
Like it looked like after like that fuse box was destroyed, there are like sprouts and things in there. So like I'm led to believe it was him.
Yeah.
And even if that wasn't him, we know he killed the guy that was 10 feet from that.
I ain't chasing. Ain't no way you're gonna make me run! No, sir.
In another cool scene where he like, a shotgun goes through the door where you're like, come on, man, you're overreacting.
Come on, man! I'm done with fucking round!
And then boom, like a rhino, he busts through. And again, another wire team pull shoots that guy.
And I like that we don't see him till we cut back the next day and we see the aftermath.
He looked totally different. Is that a different actor that has like a big tree coming out of his stomach, out of his mouth?
It's a rubber man or something. I don't know what it is.
But like, did you get a vibe of that's a different person?
I care so little about these people.
I
that
guess.
I was like, that's the buzz.
Yeah.
I was
I knew what you were
okay.
going for.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean. Like it's like relying. It's like reading like a student gave you like their test, and you're reading the essay, and you're like, oh no, they mentioned that. You're like you're trying to give them a better grade. I'm like, no, it's in there. That's in there. They covered that. No, it's kind of in there. He didn't exactly, but no, he says it. He says, tariffs.
I can tell you actually read it and faked this.
Yeah, you're like, it's fine. He's trying.
Well, not like this, Sheriff, but more like Billy, you know? Swamp stuff growing inside him, coming out from inside, you understand?
I give the movie credit for the coroner not eating a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's token. That's like, what happens in every shitty movie. But I thought it was really funny when he's like, can you get the phone? I'm wearing gloves.
This one.
Mind getting that, please?
And then, like, is smoking a cigarette.
Great. Wonderful. I actually love that so much. Because, like, I have that in my notes, too, to call out, to be like, yes, because you're exactly right. There's ways of, like, you know, that guy was more interesting than a bunch of the other characters.
He was.
The fucking weird coroner guy.
And he had some interesting things, like, was like, no, I need to smoke the cigarette. I'm fucking stressed out, bro.
Do you have to smoke?
Definitely.
When he confesses, like, well, the old sheriff was telling me to just call them gator attacks, but obviously it's crazy. Look at these guys, they're crazy. I've been seeing this for like years or months or whatever, right? But that's not this revelation, this major confession that totally changes the movie. It's just another step in the process to getting us all into that swamp with the man thing.
Yeah, and the old sheriff's office has his Pepe Sylvia fucking thing. You're like, okay, he's gotten off the rails. He's done this thing.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
I kind of think that it has a better plot than it needs to with the no, the sheriff was onto it and they killed him and they didn't actually buy this land and he ran off. They killed that guy and never gave him the money and whatever. Like I'm like, okay. Like
I'm very sketchy on the details of the land deal and the betrayal, right? Obviously, but I'm like, okay, fine.
So like I didn't catch this, but it's in the IMDb. Like their name is Schist, and it's like Frank Schist. So it's like F Schist, fascist, and they have like Nazi almost emblems as their logo for their business.
I noticed the emblem, but I thought it was like but I know what you're saying. It almost looks like a hammer and sickle thing too.
Yeah, no one I think it's two hammers. Or...
No one knows what means anything. So yes.
But yeah, so I was like, that does seem like something that someone would actually do intentionally.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's
because they are drawing on material.
Yeah.
So they had a bunch of they had the Cliff's Notes for like what they needed to do.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar. I actually have the Essential Man Thing book because like I got it from a place going out of business, but I've never read it.
The Essential. That sums it up right there.
Yeah.
It can't be called Man Thing. That's not okay. You can't have that be your thing. No one's walking around. It's already ridiculous enough.
Yeah, but in like the late '60s, early '70s, that was a name.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. But like, you know, like linguistically and psychologically and culturally, Batman and Superman is fine. Man this and man that. You can't have. No, Man Thing. That's unacceptable. I'm so sorry.
That's a man.
Oh, yeah, that's a man, all right, huh? It's the man thing, man. All right, look. All right, it's not perfect. I understand that, but look at that. Look at that thing.
But I have one major thing to say that I'm surprised you haven't brought up.
What do you got?
Is that they are doing Predator stuff in this movie.
It'll be quick.
Yeah.
They are literally,
the Vision and whatnot?
The Vision's in there, but it's very subtle. They do the whoosh noises. You know when you switch to Predator Vision, it's like wacom wacom. It does those like weird noises. They do some whoosh noises, and
his clicking.
There's like a rattling.
Yeah.
Those like noises and stuff, and it happened once, and I was like, I'll give you one. A lot, you know, hey, things make noises, it's fine. But it kept happening, and I was like, what the fuck? How dare you? I was like,
the thing that I wasn't sure of though is like when it's when you're seeing the first person vision, and like, you know, it's tilted, it's colored, it's night, whatever it is. The person is like always shaking a lot, and I'm like, well, his eyes have like orbs that move. I'm like, is that what's doing it? Is he shaking them like a British nanny? Like, what is? Because when it cuts to the other side of it, I'm like, they're not shaking.
I know.
What is that?
That's
is he actually, a blurry vision?
That's one of my least favorite effects that are in things. It's in a lot of stuff, ghost stuff, possession stuff, science fiction, where it cuts to like the sped up motion of their head moving in all these different positions and like looking at pain and stuff. I always go, and yes, the fact that they did, that they did it twice indicates A, they think it's cool, and B, that it's like a part of what he's doing to them.
I don't know.
But yes, it's only in that one shot because it's ridiculous. What would you do?
Well, because my thought is like roots could be like violently shimmering inside their body, and like, you know, we can't exactly see that, so it's hard to tell. But in parts there's like, weird things.
Or he's like destroying them in like more than just 3 dimensions.
Like molecularly
it's like this
taking
crazy, this like weird thing. But that's like even the noise I just made. Like it's like a goofy, like you're getting electrocuted, and it's like the Inspector Gadget live action movie, and you're being electrocuted, and like you're doing a weird fucking thing.
Does he Evil Dead tree rape that one Billy Bob guy? Because it looks like the root or whatever you want to call it flies through the water and then potentially goes up his ass, out his heart, and then it looks like it's going back for the mouth, but they pulled out early because I think they couldn't pull it off.
They were like, uh-oh. Yeah, I remember the S-shaped, like, coming back and the stuff, yeah.
I didn't hate that. And the other guy, like, seeing his brother, like, spawn out on the wall, like, all fucked, and then he dies, too.
No, and it's, it's normal shit, but I'll call it out, is like, what Man-Thing does to them. How it's like this, it's like the Blair Witchy wooden, like, forest spirit doll things, where there's, like, roots and branches and trees, and he's, like, wearing, like,
body horror-y.
Yeah, he's wearing, like, a fake crown, and he's, like, part of the tree, and his, like, teeth and his shit's just hanging out and all this shit. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I don't want that to happen to me while I'm alive.
It's more than terrible. You expect. Because, like, you honestly, on the budget and what it is and the time, you expect a lot of off-camera stuff to happen. But there's a shocking amount of on-camera things happening here.
It feels like there was a push being made, but it didn't land or whatever. That sort of deal.
A $5 million budget in 2005. Okay. Pretty. And honestly, I think you saying, I have a Marvel property, like, automatically gave you a little bit more money. Because I wonder how that exactly worked.
No, this might have just been that much of a difference where someone was like, this shot doesn't look good, we have to do something. And just a tiny push that a sci-fi original actual one is like, fuck it, print it, go, who cares, it's fine. That scene's 42 minutes into the movie, who cares what it looks like, fuck it, go. Like that sort of deal. Yeah.
When like poor man's Billy Zane like pops out of the water and like grabs that guy. I'm like, oh.
That and then he walks away in the swamp like whoop 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 whoop. This goofy walking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I gotta go be the understudy for the Mummy. I'll be back.
Yeah. I have to go. Anaxalamoon.
Shit. Wait. You shat yourself. Your whole self.
There's a part where a child in a park is just smashing cars with a stick.
Yeah.
And I had to wonder, like, is that the cameraman's like, that's crazy, and just like filmed it, or is that stage direction? Because it doesn't like that's the kind of thing where it would cut to them like Swamp Thing, like crushing a car. I just said Swamp Thing, Man Thing. That's what they want me to do.
I wasn't even gonna say, okay.
But like it felt like one of those things if it was on purpose. That's what makes you think they just caught a kid being nuts, and he's like, I'm filming that.
I would love to be like, well, no, the stick is like nature, and he's like crushing the little cars. That's like technology. And then it's like, no, that kid was just going crazy on the side. You're like, oh, okay.
He's going ham on some Hot Wheels, bro.
He's just like, I hate this. I hate these toys.
And he's like looking into the camera
you like this, don't you?
Watch me do it.
I need you to watch me. Oh, it's terrible.
So there's no misunderstanding. If I see any one of you in that swamp looking for a nail or rope, I won't hesitate to throw the book at you.
So at the end, too, I wanted to call out that, like, it looks like the guardian spirit man thing is like being, like, punished almost. He's sort of resisting, and he's being, like, dragged down. I felt like tonally it was completely like where I'm like, wait, is he a bad guy? I thought he was defending the land, and that was supposed to be coded as like good or something. Like, what's going on?
Well, I think he's again, the wording here is gonna get lost on me, but there was something that evil bad guy pollution man said that I think he was talking about the medicine man, or like the one that he fucked over in that deal and killed. Where like he said he's coming for me or whatever.
He said I was setting him free. How about you? Y'all want to be free, Rennie?
And I think the medicine man really meant the monster is coming for you, and and he when he was dying like released the spirit, and the spirit wants to be around and kill, but it was only summoned to solve this problem, and now that the problem's solved, he's getting pulled back into the earth.
Yeah, but it felt it wasn't like he was like a dying ent who's like
no, I agree.
Just like relaxing and going like, my work here is done. We have healed the land, and then like grabs the oil and goes like and pushes it down or something, and is like
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to give up.
He was like, no,
being animated.
I want to kill more people. He was doing that. I'm like, okay, but and like there is a vibe that like maybe he's gone rogue or maybe something's happened or something like that. It would have been neat to be like, well, wait, you killed the guy who summoned it. Now there's no one to like undo the curse.
Kind of what I think it was.
Right?
Where like he would have been a golem that listens to this guy and what he wants to say, but since he was killed, he's now just he's hats off. He's just killing people having sex like.
But like that thing is Man-Thing, right?
Yeah.
So like if they were trying to start like a series, like it's the bad guy, right?
Well, they weren't actually trying to start a series.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to start a series, it would be like the Tremors series, where it's like about this sheriff and girl and like the coroner and the whatever, and these things happen in their swamp, and
you just see
Man-Thing's there.
Those fucking those red eyes.
If it was really going to be a series, it wouldn't have killed that main bad guy. He would have got away. The Man-Thing would have run down.
It would have been a Captain Planet villain.
Yeah.
Where now he has like an eye patch and he's like, I'm not letting you come
half
back
burned
with it.
face.
Yeah.
Something
Comes back. Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if the Hummer didn't roll up? Because there's a moment where like nothing's happened yet, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, remember how I thought we were going to be love interests? We're about to do it right here in the street. And like she like kisses him, his like shirt's getting unbuttoned, and then the Hummer rolls up, and I'm like, wait a minute. What was just happening?
And they like make fun of him and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a very weird. That too.
What you taste like, boy, or something like that.
Are you supposed to be investigating a murder instead of our educational system?
I thought you were supposed to be investigating this instead of that ass. Yeah, I know. It's like that too feels fake. Because when they start kissing, I'm like, you're not gonna keep kissing. That's for later. Like I never like nothing ever fooled me even for a second in the movie.
No,
It was very weird.
Like not that you can see someone waiting on a cue, but it almost has that vibe of like you're saying that and just gonna trail off. There's not more lines written there. Someone has to interrupt you here.
You know when the script just has that weird like dash, and then like the actors don't do it right ever. And you're like, the movie has that like it's a miss. I think it's not a it's not a spicy meatball.
No, like it's only fun because it's not a spicy meatball. You know what I mean? Like this is fun for its like oafishness.
Yeah, it's like the fast food. It's like the whatever. It's like the a thing you would read and throw away.
Yeah, a movie. This is a great like oh, we're hanging out because we're gonna be doing some bullshit. We're playing cards too. I don't need to really pay attention because I know where it's going.
Well, and I think that like no one has heard of it or seen it, right? So it has a little neat.
No,
vibe.
I know.
Yeah, I'm saying so. It has a little like neat vibe of like we're gonna watch one of the earliest Marvel movies, and everyone starts guessing what it is, and no one will ever guess this. And
we could pull out some even earlier ones that no one's seen.
You can trick your friends. Well, but this, I mean, because this is far enough along where you would think, no, this is when they were getting with the program.
That statement is it exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we can pull shit out from like the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, this is like we're like modern Marvel movies had begun. Like the era of Blade had already kicked off.
And is Iron Man 2007? Do you remember Iron Man's year?
It might be 2005, 6.
It's like around this time is my point. So like, it's not like there was no MCU or like beginnings of an MCU or plans or hopes for an MCU. So the fact that they would just throw this weird like curveball.
But I would also assume they probably bought the rights early, had it for like 5 years in the can. They're like, it's expiring, and then used it. Like that would be my game if ever I had a property with something. Would be like, okay, like however long I have it for, use it at the very end because there's a chance that like a new comic could come out or a new whatever. Well, like my stock could go up in this.
I don't know how the logos and shit work if like Marvel can like ask to have that not on there if they don't want it on there.
It reverted directly back after this. I know that.
Oh, okay.
So like this was their last shot for this.
Okay, perfect. Because that explains honestly everything. Because we're living in a world with Blade and X-Men and there are rumors that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to do something for Marvel now or whatever. And they go, oh fuck, we have a 5-year deal and it's like 4 years and 8 months. Fucking make a movie. Fuck, make Man-Thing. And they
because what year was it? 90 to 92, something like that. Like the Nick Fury movie, like with David Hasselhoff. Like there's a lot of goofy Marvel properties out there.
It not only talks like you, it moves like you.
I don't know whether to congratulate you or drive a stake through its heart.
The golden goofy age, yes.
Yeah.
I just can't resist your intense animal magnetism.
Whoops.
There's a really funny moment where like the medicine man is in the woods. He's just like banging his little drum or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he's like just about to die, it's like the Puss in Boots eyes. He's like, oh, and then they like pop and he dies. And you're like that ain't gonna save you, Puss in Boots.
No.
So sorry.
No sympathy for you.
But my favorite moment in the movie is, you know the surprised gopher meme?
Where he like turns?
Yeah. Dun, 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 like there's that. They do that with the, I keep wanting to say Swamp Thing.
With Swamp
Man Thing. It's so crazy. It's almost the exact same thing. Let's play them back to back.
There's like an evil laugh scene where the guys are in the car. It's like he keeps digging. Well, he's digging his own grave, and then it cuts to like a totally different shot. They're like ah ha ha ah ha ha, and start doing like an evil laugh. It's so good.
It's his own grave he's digging.
I just want that evil laugh separately, completely out of context. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Overall, the movie's fine. It's not good. Like it would be a TV show opener if you changed a few different things here. I'd say watch it because it's like, you know, being that it's Marvel gives me an auto say like, no, watch that, because like there's a lot of Marvel fanboys that are just glamoring for more. They're like, oh, give me some more things.
It's good to like fill in the timeline too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've watched anything on the WB, this is like better than that. This is fine. This is, I mean, maybe not better, but not better than the best, but better than the worst.
This is like early 90s TV show though. Like it's the same quality. So like we've watched far worse. It's an actual movie. I can hear everything. I can see everything. Like
exactly.
High praise.
It's in color.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com. Pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Hey, I was just fooling.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinions you can really trust.